So much has happened.
It seems that Tomb Raider is going multiplayer for the first time, am I right?
Yes, it's true.
So what are the news?
What are the news? What are the news?
Well, we're really excited to add multiplayer. We actually did play with it a little bit in Guardian of Light, if anyone played that on Xbox Live, but this is the first time one of our main launches that we're including multiplayer. And we're really featuring team play, the survivors versus the scavengers. So Lara and her crewmates have crashed on this island, and they have to do whatever it takes to survive, and the scavengers are trying to kill them, basically.
And I saw that there are many weapon loadouts.
Yeah, we wanted to provide player growth. So you start with some basic loadouts, but as you explore the world and collect salvage and things like that, you're able to use that salvage to upgrade your weapons. And then between matches and even between deaths in a match, you can kind of switch weapons if you want to vary your play style.
So is the multiplayer tied in some way to the single player?
Well, it's very inspired by the single player. It's a complementary experience in that the single player is very cinematic and story driven, and the multiplayer is very kind of pick up and play, have fun with your friends, jump online. But the mechanics are very interesting from single player to bring into multiplayer. So climbing and zip lining and traps and the bow as a weapon and all these survival and Tomb Raider themed things. We also have environmental hazards, like we have a windstorm that we're showing in the map today, and that just bringing that flavor of Tomb Raider to a multiplayer game was fun.
What are you doing to balance the multiplayer experience?
To balance it, to make sure that we have the scavengers and the survivors. They have both, like for example, the mode that we're showing today is a rescue mode. Basically, it's asymmetrical experience, meaning that the survivors has to find med kits, and they have like common goals, and they have to work together. So the survivors and the scavengers are like invading the survivors, trying to prevent them from rescuing people. So the thing here, what we did to balance is make sure that what you're doing is the goals are focused, and we do like one moment you're playing the scavengers, and the next you're playing the survivors, and all the weapons and everything that we have. We really do a lot of play tests. We did a lot of balancing to make sure that all these two things, all these two factions are well balanced. So as you play today, you'll see that people are winning on one side and they're winning on the other side, and it's very close. It's very like almost like one pack, and the other one's like there's only two guys to kill. So it was a very challenging things to balance, but we worked a lot to make sure that that we were balancing as much as possible. We use like metrics, we use a lot of playtest information to do that.
And can you tell us how many maps we will see in the final game?
We have 5 maps on offer in the final game.
So 5 maps based on single player, or they're brand new?
They're inspired by the single player environments, but the maps themselves are created to cater to the flow that's necessary in a multiplayer game.
They're completely new, basically, because one of the things that is super important is that when you're playing two different factions like that, one is survivor and one is more like invaders, scavengers, you have to have something that is more fluid. That it's something that's much more like come from all the directions. While single player, it's open. You can go multi-path, but here it's more about like having like movement of fluidity around, like so to have your choke points. You can have places where you're gonna have like these guys meeting together and shooting. So the maps, and we're excited by that. We're creating whole new maps based on the island, based on the theme of the game, but it's whole new maps.
And I can see you are showing us a new controller today.
Yeah, actually, we're announcing today our new exclusive Tomb Raider Xbox 360 controller. So this is modeled after Lara's climbing axe, and it's actually the first controller that they've done with texture. So you can see Lara's always roughed up in this game. She's been through a lot, and this controller sort of shares that. So if you feel it, it's got the bandage there, it's all scratched up. But we just wanted to have that sense of Lara's survival tools in your hand.
Okay, thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
If I don't survive, none of us will.